Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. With Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Doris Burke will be along, too, from the sideline. And here we go with a look at the State Farm starting lineups. And as we take a look here at Derrick Rose, guys, what's your take?
And everything really runs...
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
He communicated to his players that when taking on Chicago, they have to be as physical as possible to match the intensity the Bulls bring. He said they have no problem banging bodies inside, and we shouldn't be afraid to respond. We can't be intimidated by them, and I want us to go right at them. Sounds like we'll have a physical game on our hands, guys.
And thank you, Doris. Stolen by Boozer. Rose against Chalmers. Rose attacking. Rebound by the Heat. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
Well, it was a good win. Ball movement, offensive spacing, efficiency. They were just really solid at that end of the floor.
And when they got hot, they were impossible to cool down. That was the case throughout the game.
Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Rose has got 9.
That's 4 connections and 5 tries now for him in what's been a great first quarter.
And it's Wade penetrating with the lead pass. Good on the shot. And the Heat lead by 4.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. I mean, you look at the points they're giving up. Most of them seem to be coming inside the paint.
Rose kicks to Gibson. And it's Wade with the rebound.
Great job defending the hoop there.
So important to have good presence defensively inside.
And they match up really well.
Kevin, they really do. Sometimes it comes down to the X factor when these two teams play. And really, it could go either way. They're that evenly matched.
The first one falls.
Dwayne Wade, a player who's dealt with some injuries over the years. Matter of fact, he deals with bad migraines from time to time. He actually looked into playing with tinted goggles to help with that, but the league wouldn't allow it. They said it would prevent defenders from seeing his eyes.
Rashard Lewis, he's checked in for Miami. Hamilton the pass to Muhammad. Gets it to go. Muhammad's got his first bucket of the night.
Well, everyone seems to have the hot hand here early on.
You know, if they keep up this scoring pace, we'll definitely see some big point totals from both of these teams.
Here's Clutch. 35 points for him last game against Dallas. Just his first attempt. Miami grabs the miss. And going back to Wade and those migraines you were talking about, Clark, the league said he couldn't wear tinted goggles. Might have been a stylish look, but Steve, they said that it was an unfair advantage.
That was a surprising ruling, Kevin. I'm not sure where the advantage would come. I guess because you can't see his eyes, that it would put the defender at a disadvantage. But still, you think they would give the guy a break with migraine headaches.
5 to shoot. Here's Dang, and that one's good.
I can imagine they're going to hear an earful about this next stop. I mean, that's 3 straight field goals given up right in the middle of the lane. Inexcusable.
Well, defense starts at the rim. I mean, you want teams shooting the ball from the outside, and that's not happening. They're just giving up everything inside.
And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Well, I love the fact that he's fighting hard.
Last game for the Bulls, it was a loss to the Magic in Orlando.
Yeah, their offense struggled for almost that entire game. You know, whenever they did start to put together something during a decent stretch, it just seemed to end just as quickly as it began.
Yeah, but even so, there weren't many of those decent stretches. I mean, talk about being in a rut.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On for Miami, look at who they've got out there. Clutch in at shooting guard. Al Harrington is out there at Lewis. Then there's Chalmers. And it's Miller in at the 3 slot. Here's Robinson. The 6-footer's good. Robinson's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Bulls.
You know, the Miami Heat are relatively young as a team in terms of NBA history. Joined the league in 1988, but really hit the ground running and have been a force in the East since they became part of the league.
Stolen by Robinson. Gets it to go.
I like it. He could have gone for the forced finish, but opted instead for kind of the nice, smooth finger roll. I like it.
Robinson against Chalmers. Outside for Harrington. For three. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Chalmers has got 3 assists in the game. Well, you look at the Heat, you take away the first 3 years of the franchise as they were building from scratch since 1991. They have only missed the playoffs 5 times. Steve, I think that's an amazing stat.
Yeah, the franchise quickly came in and established itself way back as one of the tougher opponents to deal with in the East. They've done a nice job of establishing themselves as a model organization in the NBA over the years.
He can cause the defense just so many problems. There aren't many ways to slow him down.
Chalmers against Robinson. Knocks down the jumper off the quick drop step. Robinson's got 6 here in this quarter.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Here's Miller, and another basket for Miami. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Robinson kicks to Hamilton. To the inside. Here's Radmanovic. Can't get it to go. Now the Heat take it the other way.
And you know, a lot of people aren't aware of this, but Eric Spoelstra's father was once the general manager of the Portland Trail Blazers. And Eric went on to play at the University of Portland, had a nice career there before hooking on with the Miami Heat. He's been with the organization for a long time.
Lewis outside. The tray. That's good. And it's a 10-point Heat lead. And a chance here to go to our rookie leaderboard and give a nod to the best long-range bombers of the past month. And you look at Clutch. Dangerous player from three-point land. A great talent with a great release.
Well, we heard talk of his outside shooting before he came into the NBA. And given the past 30 days, I can see what the fuss was all about.
Yeah, and I don't think this is just the hot streak, Steve. I mean, to me, it's a snapshot of the overall ability he has from long range.
Hamilton off the pick from Dang. 6 to shoot. Hamilton kicks to Dang. Baseline jumper, and the jumper is good. Dang's got 6. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that one.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And you know, last game, guys, he shot very well from the stripe. Made a nice contribution there.
Yeah, he sure did. Turned in a really nice performance.
And it's Wade penetrating. Good. He's got 8.
Boy, he's been so dependable here in this game. Really playing well offensively.
He feeds it to Radmanovic. He dishes it to Hamilton. Over Wade. And again, Chicago. No good. Here's Clutch.
Oh, ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
I can't imagine that we'll see one better than that tonight.
I'm with you on that, aren't you, Steve?
Oh, yeah, I'd be shocked if we saw something more entertaining than that one.
And that replay sponsored by Sprite, giving us a great look at that one. Hamilton outside. The feed now to Dang. Kicks it to Radmanovic. Here's Butler, and he makes good on his first shot of the game. Butler's got his first points of the game. The Heat leading by 5. Here's Clutch. Can't hit, and Chicago will go the other way with the ball. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home.
Yeah, you know, the fans out in Cleveland really hoping for a win for their Cavaliers. That's a big game for them.
Dang kicks to Butler. Clock at 6. With the clock winding down, Miami grabs the miss.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Here's Clutch. Passes it to Harrington. There's a good screen. Feeds it to Wade. Easy shot. Gets it to go. Wade's got 10 points in the game. Bulls trail by 7. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. Clutch in their last time out against the Mavericks got the job done. He ended up with 35 points, and he also added a few assists as he set up his teammates as well. This outing just the latest from him in what has been an incredible display of basketball.
Okay, Doris, thanks. Great report on what was, Clark, an outstanding performance.
Kevin, he was simply on fire. These are the kinds of games that define truly great NBA career.
Yeah, you could see from the beginning, he just seemed to have it. You know, he was on his game, and he remained aggressive throughout in what was really a great win.
Hamilton kicks to Dang. And it's Miami with the rebound. Harrington's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Inside, and it's Wade with the jam.
He's so dangerous. Anytime he gets the ball in his hands and gets some momentum going towards the basket.
In a tough league like the NBA, here's where Miami sits right now in the league ranking. First in scoring. First in assists. And they're also number 1 in shooting percentage.
There's 25 seconds left in the first half of basketball. And Gibson kicks to Rose. Left side Rose. And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul call. He'll shoot free throws. That's on LeBron James. The Bulls have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
Well, impressive free throw shooting as a team this season, right around that 78% mark.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
Here's Clutch, and there's another one for the Heat.
They're really playing well at both ends, offensively and defensively, guys.
Yeah, it's been a complete performance, Steve. You look back on this game, it's one that you would hope to be able to build on.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Heat out front, running away with it. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Now, presented by Sprint.
It's a lively Friday evening here at 2K Sports. Hopefully you're having a great time watching a little basketball tonight. Miami up on top against Chicago. Their offense has been prolific, moving the ball, getting tons of shots, different looks, options everywhere, around the rim, downtown, mid-range. How do you want it? D-Wade was phenomenal in the first half. What he's been able to do from the field has been nothing short of spectacular. Only a select few players in the league can shoot the ball like that. The Heat have the lead out in Miami against the Bulls. Offensively, they're making it look ridiculously easy. Everything's falling. For Dwayne Wade, things are going way too easy against Chicago. He's got 16 points and has kept everyone else involved, piling up the assists. Heat came out like they had something to prove. The top team in the conference standings, they're having a great season. First half play for Dwayne Wade has been outstanding.
The Heat leading by 17. So for Chicago right now, the 3 and 4 are Luol Deng and Taj Gibson. Derrick Rose runs the show with Rip Hamilton to the side. And it's Boozer in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Down low, here's Clutch. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Clutch has got 10 points in the game. Rose kicks to Hamilton. Pass to Gibson. The pass to Rose. Bulls moving the ball around. Shoots it. And again, no good by Chicago.
Just one make and 4 tries here to start the second half.
The drive by Wade.
And Dwayne Wade's style of play is very high wire and high impact. I mean, he spends a lot of time getting fouled and bouncing off the hardwood, and every season he spends time packing muscle on his frame so he can handle that kind of pounding.
Well, when you talk about players, Kevin, who can break down defenses off the dribble and create their own offense, to me, Dwayne Wade is at the top of that list.
Yeah, you know what? He's a crevice encroacher. In other words, he can get to places you don't think he can get to. This guy gets through cracks and crevices and finishes at the rim with a high degree of success and difficulty as well. He's special in that regard.
And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Here's Clutch. He's covered by Rose. Here's the screen. Harrington. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J. And Dwayne Clark, you mentioned his hard-charging style of play. Steve, if you're part of the Heat organization, how do you protect him from getting hurt?
Well, maybe you just give the ball to LeBron a little bit more often, but not a whole lot you can do, Kevin. I mean, this is the way Wade plays. He's always been an attacker. He's so athletic and strong that he's going to get to the rim and absorb a lot of punishment. He just has to take care of his body and, make sure he spends a lot of time with the trainers after games.
Rose kicks to Dang. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Dishes it to Hamilton. Over Wade. Cannot hit.
This has been a game for him to forget. So far, anyway. We'll see if he can pick it up.
There's the screen. There's the dish to Haslam. The shot's good on the assist by Wade. Haslam's got his second basket.
That's going to be important for this team to fight over the top of screens defensively.
Yeah, you got to tag him and stay right close to him because with his touch, he doesn't need much space to get his shot off.
Dang kicks to Boozer. Drills the elbow jumper. Boozer's got 6.
Well, good job finding a little opening in the defense and burying the jumper. Well, what I love about Tom Thibodeau, guys, is just how hard his teams play. And you know they're prepared because Thibodeau is so meticulous in his preparation. But the guys play hard for him, and you can tell they really enjoy him and they really like him because they really get after it for him.
Let's go to the 2K leaderboard. For the past 10 games, these teams have been fantastic on rebounding. Number 1, the Bulls.
Yeah, what a show of strength and rebounding we've seen recently. These guys playing extremely physically.
Here's Hamilton looking to end his cold spell, and that one's good. Hamilton's got his second basket of the night. And for Coach Tom Thibodeau, Steve, it took a long time to land a head coaching position. Some say his intense style scared off some teams. They're worried about his gruff demeanor. I think just the opposite. I think that, a lot of teams were welcoming that. He was going to bring some order, some discipline, some structure.
Well, he just didn't have the personality that some teams are looking for in terms of, media relationships or, sound bites, that kind of stuff. And he didn't play. So he was really a guy who had to work his way up the ladder. Obviously has turned into one of the best coaches in the league, but it's tougher for guys who didn't come from an NBA background.
Stops, pops, and it's Boozer that time in the assist by Rose. 8 points for Carlos Boozer. A lot of answers, but still a lot of questions for how the East is going to ultimately shake out this year. But right now, let's check out where the team stands. Taking a look at Miami. And, of course, Chicago sitting directly below them, just one spot down.
Tell you what, when he gets going strong to the hoop, there's almost nothing the defense can do.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Sprite. The Bulls have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime, 5 out of 11. Rose kicks to Hamilton. Back to Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Rose with another miss.
Yeah, he's struggled with his shot this quarter, and he's got to find a groove somehow.
Wade against Hamilton. It's off his leg. And it's being called a kickball. And some changes here for the Heat. Rashard Lewis. He's checked in for Harrington. Allen comes in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Norris Cole in for Udonis Haslem. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Ozzie Muhammad's checked in for Boozer. Jimmy Butler comes in for Lou Aldang. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Richard Hamilton. And Nate Robinson is subbed in for Derrick Rose. Three-pointer, Heinrich. Sean Lewis pulls it in. The Heat leading by 23. Here's Clutch. Gives him the lead pass. They swipe it. And here we go. The Bulls fast break.
He's definitely showing some real sweet dunking skills here.
Are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh. What a play.
Yeah, that was spectacular.
The Heat have gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the third. He kicks to Cole. Here's Clutch. Defended by Butler. He feeds it to LeBron. Shot clock at 6. Off target on the 15-footer. Bulls trail by 21. Robinson dishes to Muhammad. LeBron with some nice D.
He was right there, but the defensive pressure forced that miss.
Well contested. That really made it a tough shot. All business there, not messing around one bit. Flushed it right with one hand.
He never does, Clark. He never does.
Well, that's kind of his trademark, those slams like that one.
Robinson a screen on Allen. Heinrich with it, and Allen picks him up defensively. Here's Robinson, and a great assist by Heinrich as that one goes in. Robinson's got 8.
Boy, nice pick there, guys. I mean, gave him the space he needed for the hoop.
He dishes it to Allen. Over Heinrich. Again, the Heat good for 2. The Bulls shooting around 44% in this third quarter. Heinrich off a pick from Gibson. Now Heinrich. That is good. Heinrich's got his third basket of the night right there. Here's Cole. Right now averaging 5 points a game. LeBron outside. Butler with the steal. It's hauled in by LeBron. LeBron's now got his 8th rebound here tonight. That's good from Allen on the assist by LeBron. LeBron's now got 3 assists in the game.
And now a look at the rankings for LeBron. 5th in field goal percentage, 5th in three-point field goal percentage. And he's really worked hard at his offensive game. He ranks in the top 10 in that category, points per game.
And you go back to his shooting percentage just for a minute here, Steve. I mean, you think about it. What makes a guy a high percentage shooter? Well, you take the shots that you work on. You don't take bad shots. And you let the game come to you. You don't force shots.
The Heat leading by 21. Allen with it. Right now averaging 7 points a game. Here's Clutch. Takes a 3. And the foul called on Rashard Lewis. That's his first foul.
Yeah, that was kind of clumsy looking. He was not going to get away with that.
He climbed all over him like he was on the ladder. I mean, that's an easy over-the-back call there.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for LeBron. Harrington comes in for Rashard Lewis. Dwayne Wade's checked in for Ray Allen. And it's Chalmers in for Norris Cole. Here's Clutch. Carlos Boozer pulls it in. Boozer's got 6 rebounds in the game.
You know, guys, you take a look at Carlos Boozer. In contrast to the rest of this Chicago front line, he's not really known for his defense. Not a big-time shot blocker, doesn't really elevate, but his rebounding is probably his best asset defensively.
The Heat shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor. Throws up the alley-oop, and then Wade slams it in.
I'm not sure if any play is going to top that one.
Maybe the only play that could beat it is another alley-oop jam.
Yep. Even then, it'd be hard to execute it any better than that one. And going back to Boozer, you know, defensively he's not great, but offensively he's really a terrific player. Pick and pop situations, he can knock down the jumper. He's got a great left hand around the basket, good touch down on the block. So I think for Chicago he's been a pretty good fit playing alongside Derrick Rose.
Here's Wade, takes it up, shot denied. And here's Rose. 19 points in the game. Back to Boozer. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got his 5th assist in this one. The Heat leading by 19 points. Now here's Wade. He's got 21. Harrington, there's the 3. The shot is off.
Boy, he's got a nice-looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, a lot of times he'll hit that shot regardless of the defense.
Oh, get it! Oh, watch out now. I tell you what, you need to archive that one for the highlight tape.
Oh, yeah, that is a keeper. You're correct.
Man, that was incredible.
Yeah.
And those plays will give your team a huge boost.
Here's Clutch. He passes to Harrington. Five on the clock. Here's Clutch. He's covered by Deng. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And a moment to check out Miami and who they've got coming up. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. Bulls trail by 17. Outside Rose. 59 seconds left in the third. Just 5 to shoot. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Here's Hamilton. The shot misses. Now the Heat take it the other way. Earlier they held a 23-point lead.
Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound, and that's really allowed them to get out to this lead.
Rose kicks to Deng. Kicks it to Boozer. Gibson. And there's the feed to Deng. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Bulls shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
He's off on the second. To the paint. Here's Clutch. Jams it straight down.
Kevin, I tell you what, when he gets to the rim like that, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he can get up a few notches high. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that's how the game is played, inside. I mean, if you can go over the top like that, you've got a great advantage. He's done a ton to help his team, guys, and he may have to do more if they're going to come back and win.
And he drains it.
What a way to close the quarter. Huge 3 right there.
Yeah, and that's a deflator for the other team.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Heat lead by 21. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena.
Make sure to pick up a copy of 2K Sports Magazine.
Fourth quarter getting going here. It's time for the Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris Burke with the report. Hi, Doris.
Hey guys, well it was the stretch by the Heat that garners the uncontainable game today. It's been a defensive clinic as they just can't help but get stops. The lead continues to grow for them as they look like they are allergic to getting scored on.
Okay, Doris, thank you. And that was quite a run, guys. That made a big impact on where we are right now.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say, Kevin. It was a major turning point. You know, they really hit on something that in the blink of an eye had them scoring almost at will.
Well, you got to share the credit for that kind of run. I mean, you can't just say it was all about offense. There was some stingy, stiff defense being played, too.
So with Wade on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Clutch in at small forward. Allen out there with Chalmers. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Haslam in at center. Deng passes to Gibson. Outside Robinson. Lets the 3 fly. Over Allen. The offensive rebound in the air. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
It's been a nice game for Boozer. 8 rebounds, and he's got 1 rejection in there also.
Now, good, solid interior defense is so important. I mean, championship teams have to play defense inside, and I think having shot blocking is just critical to being a successful NBA team.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Al Harrington's checked in for Haslam, and Dwayne Wade is subbed in. Oh, my goodness.
play.
Did you see that?
Oh, we got to see that one again, guys. We've got to see that again.
I need a replay. I'm not sure what I just looked at.
That was a nice replay. Brought to you by Sprite. Bull shooting in this game, 45%. Hamilton outside. Passes to Deng. Feeds to Rose. The pass to Deng. And again, no good by Chicago.
And no defender was around him to influence that shot. It didn't hurt them there, but, they can't make that mistake twice. So hard not to go for it when you see that chance at the alley-oop.
Bet he wishes he hadn't, though.
Hamilton dishes to Gibson. That's good.
Just like they drew it up, fellas.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Wade against Hamilton. Off his leg. And the ref saying he kicked it.
Guys, some have called on the NBA to search for ways to reduce dead ball situations to speed up the game. I'm for that. The league has taken steps in that direction over the last few seasons, allowing subs only prior to the final free throw on the trip to the line, keeping timeouts to their intended length. I think that's all good.
Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Al Harrington. He used that pick to perfection.
He took advantage of that pick, and he did the rest, knocking down the J.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Hamilton outside. Pass to Deng. This is the Rose. Deng kicks to Boozer. And the baseline jumper, no good. Funky talked about the emphasis on keeping timeout short. Now two horns sound 15 seconds apart. We're really going to break this down. If players aren't moving to the court by the second horn, they get a delay of game warning. And, Steve, I think that's probably only fair.
Well, this is entertainment, after all. I mean, basketball, the NBA, it's in the business of selling tickets and selling TV rights. So you want the game to be as fast-moving as possible, so I like the rule.
That drops. Boozer's got 4 points in the quarter.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
And here's what the Chicago Bulls' schedule is looking like. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That game marks the first half of a quick two-game homestand. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Hamilton, the pass to Rose. Back to Hamilton.
Seems like more and more the last few years we've seen star players demanding trades. And I don't want to sound like the old guy, but when I played, that wasn't something you did. And if you were going to do it, you did it privately, behind the scenes. Nowadays, it seems like it's on the front page every day.
And, Steve, that might be the big thing you talked about. When it happens, a trade request, it is done through the media more now than it's done, privately, through the avenues of team to team.
But, Kevin, we can't really just blame the players for that. It's also the modern time of social media. It's so difficult to conceal any type of information these days. It seems like everybody has a voice, and everyone's business is on the internet, on a blog every single day, on social media. It's really difficult to handle as a general manager or as a player. Just too easy. They're getting whatever they want down there.
You said it, Steve. 5 straight field goals inside for them. The defense has to clamp down here.
The shot's good from LeBron.
Wow, has he caught fire this quarter, shooting the ball with tremendous confidence.
Free throw good, LeBron.
Well, I heard that LeBron still rides his bike to the arena now and again on game day, and he's an avid cyclist, I guess. And when you're down in Miami, you got to make the most of that Miami weather, don't you?
Yes, you do. Heat have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Chicago grabs the miss. Here's Rose. Right side, Boozer. Back to Rose. The dish to Hamilton. On the wing, Deng. 6 on the shot clock. Oh, that's blocked. Right side, Rose. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Rose has got 14 points now in the second half. The Heat leading by 22. And going back to LeBron, you know, he's always enjoyed bicycles. He said as a kid in Akron, in fact, he'd tool around on his bike looking for pickup games.
Understand that feeling.
Steve, you're a big bicyclist, I know. What do you think about that story?
Well, I think it's great. You know, and he has his charity event. I think it's called Wheels for Education every summer in Akron, a charity bike-a-thon, encouraging kids to stay active and to stay in school.
Right now, he's in a bit of a funk. I look for them to look at other options on offense.
Wade, good.
Good work turning that into an easy 2-point. He can attack the rim as well as anybody.
Now Rose. Back to Gibson. They get a hand on it. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. On up the court. And finished off by LeBron.
Yeah, very opportunistic defense there, leading to those points.
That's exactly what they'll do to you, Steve. They will pounce on your mistakes.
The Bulls shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. Rose kicks to Dang. Here's Gibson. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And the first one drops.
Well, if you're a Bulls fan, you've got to love Taj Gibson. Great defender. He can rebound, block shots, and got a nice mid-range jump shot. Incredibly versatile as a defender. One of the keys to that Bulls defense.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Rashard Lewis. He's checked in for Haslem. Adier comes in for LeBron. James Jones. He's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers. Heinrich with it. Left side, Butler. He kicks it to Gibson. Over Lewis. No good from Gibson. We'll talk about Taj Gibson out of USC. And we've said it before, but what a steal, Clark, with the 26th pick in the draft.
And, you know, that's a big part of how you become a contender. You need star talent, certainly, Kevin. We know that. But you also need to be able to draft some players that play above their draft pick. And he certainly is one of those guys. Very versatile, tough-minded, a good two-way player.
And Cole kicks to Jones. Makes the lead pass. Here's Clutch. He feeds it to Cole. Shot clock at 5. Kirk Heinrich with the rebound.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Connects from three-point range.
Well, he did a nice job of getting himself into just enough of an open area to find that spot for his shot.
Heat shooting impressively throughout at 62%. He dishes it to Lewis.
Well, you know, you look at the success of teams like Oklahoma City who built through the draft. I mean, teams starting to emulate that method for building up talent, but it takes patience. I think some are starting to question the incentives when teams are, in a sense, getting bad to get good. I think it's worth examining if that's the best model for the league to incentivize.
From 17 feet out, Chicago grabs the miss. Butler's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Kicks to Bellinelli. The shot misses. And it's Miami the other way. Going back to what Clark just talked about, Steve, some call it tanking for draft picks. I don't like that word, but some people will use it. Teams like, say, Houston, that are trying to go from solid to great, it's not easy without the superstars that top draft picks can provide.
And the irony, of course, is that even if you have the best chance of winning the lottery, it's still only a 25% chance. So tanking isn't always going to pay off. The lottery often just comes down to a random drop of the ping pong ball, and all of a sudden some team that's had a decent season is getting the #1 pick. But it's a difficult issue to tackle for sure.
Heinrich kicks to Gibson. Bellinelli. A fadeaway. Good. Here's Clutch.
This is a very interesting area. topic of sleep science. We've talked about it before, and as the studies continue, the results just get more and more compelling. Researchers now say that athletes should get 9 to 10 hours of sleep a day. They say it improves reaction time, cognitive function, and releases natural growth hormones to improve recovery. So sleep in, young fellas, sleep in.
Into the Bulls, shooting about 42% so far. Heinrich kicks to Gibson. Back to Heinrich. He passes it to Bellinelli. Gibson the screen. Lock at 6. Defended by Jones. The 8-footer. Rebound by the Heat. You talk about the need for good sleep. A study showed that Stanford players who got adequate sleep shot 9 percentage points better from three-point range and from the free throw line. Steve, Clark, I'm looking at you guys. You could have had monster numbers.
Hey, I tried to tell my wife all those years when we were raising young kids, honey, I need 9 to 10 hours of sleep tonight. You've got to be the one to get up and feed them.
Unloads from 13. The shot by Bellinelli. No good.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Cole dishes to Lewis. Battier outside. Here's Clutch. The Heat need to get a shot off. Jumper off the screen. No good. The Bulls shooting in this fourth quarter pretty dire at 27%. That's a 2 from Bellinelli. They get it again. Butler. And it's good.
Real persistence on his part. Stayed with the play and cashed in with the second chance points.
Heat shooting in the fourth has been tremendous. 59%. Here's Clutch. The feed to Cole. Passes it to Battier. And that is good.
Not much drama left in this one, guys.
No, it hasn't quite exactly been a nail-biter. I mean, it's going to be a great win for them, though.
Gibson passes to Bellinelli. Feeds to Radmanovich. Gibson inside. Over Lewis. Tries again. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. He misses the free throw. Ray Allen, he's checked in for James Jones. And the Bulls making a change here as well. May Robinson is checked in for Bellinelli.
I'm sure he'd like that miss back. Hard to chip away at a lead when you're leaving points at the line.
And for the Heat, they're shooting 61%, showing all the indications of an offense that is locked in. Gets it to go.
Now there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Lewis, right side. Robinson on him. Lewis gets the bucket.
Well, they are not exactly taking their foot off the gas just yet.
No, they want to throw a little bit of whipped cream and some cherry on top of this one.
Now, here is Robinson. He's guarded closely. Here's Butler. The second chance bucket is good.
I like the way they got the ball inside there.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
So that'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
You guys were firing on all cylinders out there tonight. That's got to be a win that makes you feel good about the team as a whole. Agree or disagree?
Agree. Dominant win for us. Dominant game for me. And it just shows how capable this team is of being a real contender. We just got to maintain this level of play night in and night out. I know I can. Now my teammates got to do the same. And if they do, look out, NBA.